Mic check. 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 Mic. Is it noisy? Mic check. Mic check. Is the noise gone? Mic check. The noise still there? Less static? Mic check. Mic check. You're not hearing it? Is the static lower? Still loud or less static? Just need more mic. All right, okay. It just need gain, gain. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic. Any better? Mic check. No signal? That's weird. Mic check, 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 mic check. Any better? Worse, better? Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Are you getting signal to your camera? All right. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Yes, no, yes, no. You're not getting. Check the connection, the switches. Saltum ZNS got. Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you a former banker, a former sporting federation executive, perhaps one of the most successful national basketball coaches in our history. I want to introduce to you the Member of Parliament and the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mr. Mario Bowleg, who's been charged with leading a dynamic ministry which touches almost every level of the community, youth, sports, and culture. In our opinion, it's perhaps the most important ministry in the Bahamas. A critical element of this ministry is this asset that we are in today, the National Sports Authority. This National Sports Authority covers a number of different sports. It's more than just the stadium. We have the hot rod tracks, we have the tennis, soccer, golf, softball fields, and many other activities. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the Honorable Mr. Mario K. Bowleg, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I have a very, very easy task, and that task is to introduce to the public the new energetic board of the National Sports Authority. As you can see, this board is made up of a diverse group of young men and women who we believe have the necessary resources, assets, and mind setting that will take this National Sports Authority to the next level. The whole idea for us in launching Sports in Paradise is to ensure that these facilities are occupied within the 52 weeks of the year by bringing the various disciplines and events to our shores that will also impact us economically through sports tourism. I will start from my immediate right, or far right, I should say, by the statute laws of the board. We know that the Director of Sports is automatically a member of the board, and that is in the person of Mr. Timothy Munnings. To his immediate left will be a representative of the Bahamas Basketball Federation, Mr. Moses Johnson. Board member appointed Hall of Famer, Mr. Maurice Cheek Smith. Next to him, Hall of Famer Margaret Albury. And next to her, to my immediate right, will be the Deputy Chair, is Grafton Eiffel Jr. To my immediate left will be the Chairman of the National Sports Authority, Mr. Greg Burrows. To his left will be Felice Albury, and to her left will be Nicole Pratt, and also by statute, the General Manager of the National Sports Authority, Mr. Quentin Brennan. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the board that will make up the NSA for the next few years. And as you can see again, we are talking about former bankers, businessmen and ladies, CPAs, and you name it all. If any further questions, you can ask your questions now. I open the floor for questions. Well, that sports national development wouldn't be the onus on them. That was going to come from my ministry itself. In another week, I intend to name the Sports Advisory Board that I spoke about earlier when I first got into office. That team is being put together. That team will be responsible for sports policy and how we create and assist federations in the developments of the various disciplines in the country. I've reviewed the report. The report speaks to exactly what is stated publicly for everyone's knowledge. And again, if you look at this board, before this board was even assembled, not only are these individuals from sporting background, but they are businessmen and women. Felice Aubrey, a chartered accountant. Nicole Pratt, executive in a offshore banking. Greg Burrows, a former business owner. You got Grafton Eiffel, a business owner. Mr. Belsi Keith Smith, former executive offshore banking. Moses Johnson, presently a banker. So when you talk about the persons around this table, the mistakes, indirectly or directly, that were made in the past, I don't expect to see it to happen again. That is the reason why we put business-minded sports individuals and also persons who understand compliance and protocols, what must be adhered to. You know, there are things they must adhere to as it relates to giving out contracts and whatever it may be, and I expect that this board, when you look at these people here, will not put their names on the line for anything. Well, I don't know who has been held responsible. No one has been held responsible as yet. But again, I wouldn't speak to that right now because there are things being sought out, investigated. Yes. No. This administration has met some things in place. Things has been reported to us, and at the right moment in time, as we continue to look at the documents, decisions will be made. The information presented to the public to the audit. What are? Yeah, my thoughts on the report was that rules and regulations were breached, which if anyone in the public would have seen the report would have come to the same conclusion. And again, if there's any steps to be taken, that will be done not by myself, but by this administration. And I think if the country sit back and wait, if there's something that we feel as though steps must be taken, then that would happen.
Last question. In your opinion, as a minister, do you think someone should be held responsible?
In everything we do in life, if you are head to the helm, you should be held responsible. And whoever was in charge at that time should be held responsible. If this board acts itself in a manner that is not pleasing to the sight of the Bahamian public, and I'm at the head, then I expect to be held responsible.
Minister, you talked about 52 activities over the next 52 weeks. What other mandate for this one going forward?
Well, one thing we're not going to do, Brent, is sit back and wait for events to come to us. The mandate of this board is to go and travel the world and seek events to bring them back to this country. And that's by working along with the various federations, using the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, the NSA, Ministry of Tourism, and we go to the various events such as the Final Four, when you talk about basketball, volleyball, softball, or baseball, and the NCAA, go to professional leagues, playoffs, and set up booths and sell the country, sell these facilities, and try to invite people here and see why they should come and play sports in paradise. You jump in the gun, but I don't want to say it right now, but we will be using our elite athletes. There's one or two persons going to be named, if not before the year's out, in January. Will be sports ambassadors, also cultural ambassadors, but I wouldn't speak to that at this very present moment. Who will assist us in ensuring that, our Sports in Paradise brand is being pitched in the United States and wherever it may be.
Anything on the agenda right now for the sports right now?
Well, right now you got the bowl coming up Saturday, Friday. So come, it's free. Protocol will be in place. I invite the entire country to come out. The stadium is big enough, and so you should come out and watch it. Well, the Babe Ruth Baseball World Games will be held here in July, right? July. But that's not just the only thing. There are many things in the pipeline, Brent. don't want to speak to things until we sign the dotted line. But I know the Babe Ruth is one of the events that for ages under 12, U12 and U16, that will be played here. And the hope is to have the fields which are supposed to be built next to the stadium prepared and ready. The stadium may not be ready. It's our hope to try and our best to get it done, but if it's not, we want to make sure we're still able to host the tournament.
Two questions. So can you, like you said, the board will go out and bring competition?
I can't hear you.
Like you said, the board will go out and bring competition spot. Can we see a return of the IWF AF World Relays?
It's our intent. Is this administration intend to seek to hold the IAAF relays? I can tell you that truly we have already sent a letter of intent of request. We will be waiting on the response from the World Athletics, and once they respond and do what they have to do, but remember now, it's a bidding process. The bidding will be sent out to all countries. When that time comes, we will then make an offer and a pitch. We will have to go and meet with them and tell them why it should be held here. So we are in competition with other countries, but it's our intent to do whatever it takes to get it here.
And can you provide us with an update on the Antoine Rogers baseball?
Well, the only update I can give you right now is myself and the Minister of Works, Mr. Sayers, who's responsible for completing, the Ministry of Works is completing the works with the contractor. We are scheduled to meet next week to get an update, also to meet with the contractor and get a timeline on when that will be finished. But of course, there's some funding that has been owed to the contractor that we hope to sort that out. And once that's sorted out, then you will see more effective and work going on the place that will try and get it to its completion in a timely manner.
Last question? That's it?
You got to ask the board. The board's sitting here. What?
Good afternoon, everyone. But before I answer that, let me just say to the minister that how much I appreciate the opportunity and thank him on behalf of all the board members, Mr. Eiffel, myself, for the opportunity to serve in this capacity as the NSA board to move all of the government agenda forward. Now, as far as the events, there is events that was already on the board when we came in, and I'm reviewing some of those stuff right now. The minister told you about the relays that we are quickly, the football game, the bowl game that we are preparing for next week, Saturday. And the next big event is the Babe Ruth Caribbean Zone Championship, an invitational championship that will be held here in Nassau. Moving forward, this board have to then go and dig into the bookings that the stadium have, look at it, and then start our work as far as going out and bringing these events back. We have in conversation, I know, with Mike and those, looking for opportunities for us to fill these facilities with activities that we need to make sure complete the 52 weeks that the Prime Minister spoke about.
Do you foresee perhaps boxing, professional boxing has been on a decline?
So,
Motivated promoters here, but we just can't.
right. So this board speaks to all sports. We have to fill every one of our venues in the NSA portfolio. We have the boxing training center on the end closest to Blue Road. So we have to seek to find international events, and that's every sporting events we can find. And not only sporting event, we have to use these facilities as for, like, I think tonight or tomorrow night, it's a concert over there. We have to continue to look for things like that. And then we have to sit down and make sure that all the protocols is correct. And so we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do in the time that we are living in. So we have to do our best to make sure that we complete the tasks and all of the things that we need to do to make this board successful. Well, we go back to the boardroom right after this, and then we'll make a decision on the next, the first waking board meeting.
how do you attempt to combat that in terms of making sure that the sporting disciplines have the rights to use those facilities that we have here?
You know, that's a funny question because he told you earlier that this is a diverse group of people, and we have to go out and look for events. And I think it's about a first come, first serve type thing. If we're going to be landlords to these facilities, I guess it's something that we have to work out. If we could, if a track event is happening, and somebody want to do a concert in here in the stadium, then we maybe have to look to moving the concert someplace else. So I think that's the way we have to work, try to make some adjustment to satisfy all the customers. Thank you very much, folks.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it? Are we just getting ready for the official photo, please? Now, just as you're seated, you're going to line right up in the front, please, so we can get the official photo. Then, get the microphone.
This has been a live broadcast of the naming of the NSA board. This is where we bring our broadcast to a close. Thank you for watching.